First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. I posted two charts. I had two questions today about Goldman Sachs. We were talking about it yesterday. That was the 135 pattern that I posted. I also posted the time right behind it on the second chart. Basically, what you're looking for here are lower tops. You can see the trend line going down. This was a 61% retracement of the high that we made way back here. That sets up everything you could possibly ask for. If it went a nickel above 44 and change, you were wrong, but it is trading lower today. Now, that's very, very important, but we have to have some kudos today, folks, because we had a gentleman on here just a little while ago that said the market was going to top on September the 12th, and his name was Stan Harley, and Stan is going to be our guest on Friday. And there was somebody else, too. Who was it? There was somebody else. I can't remember. We had somebody else on that got really lucky on some. Oh, I know who it was. Let me guess. It was none other than Mr. Astro Trends himself, Norm Winsky, was on last Thursday when the market is screaming up, and he said to sell it on Tuesday. Hello, operator. Hello, operator. We have to give Norman a gold star for that. But, folks, that is not Norm's best comment that he's had here in all these years he's been with us. In May of 2015, on a new moon, he said this is the high of the stock market for the next 18 months, and by golly, he was right. And we also had Mr. Shane Smolian on saying the same thing, that get ready because we're going down, Freddie. And that's exactly what we had. So we had three great guests on showing us what was happening, and I think it's really important. We also have a hats off to Larry Williams. He also said to be looking around today, the 12th. And we had one other guy, another little Italian guy, Mr. Fibonacci himself, Leonardo da Pisa da Fibonacci from the city of Pisa, right next to the city of Florence in Italy. And you'll see there's Mr. Fibonacci to the tick as they hit the button for the CPI. It hit 41.57, and we've had a tiny bit of a sell-off today to the tune of about 4%. They don't always work that way, but when they do, by golly, you gotta beat the drum. But we had no big kudos to Norm Winsky. He really nailed the bottom and the top, and also Stan Harley did a really good job on the 12th. Larry Williams did, Shane Smolian did. So all of them were, big kudos for the timing stuff. I don't know a lot about this astrology stuff, folks, but when it works, it really works. And that thing that we had coming in here was Frank Tauscher's favorite thing of all. And you can see why he wrote the Super Trader's Almanac. I have to look over on the desk to see what it was. Hold on here for a second here. We got a couple other charts that we need to go through. Now, I mentioned to folks today that, when you have big moves like this, you're going to get a little bit of a counter trend rally at times going to the 382. These are the patterns that we like to look at, watching the 15-minute charts like we're going to be doing on our all-day session. So we'll start out with the S&P, and I can just show you, what I was looking at and trying to, give an idea of what was going on. So here is a 4-minute chart because, the market's moving really rapidly. You've got to, find out what bar you want to use. You can see the really nice ABCD pattern here, the Gartley. Then the market breaks down, and you'll see it makes a perfect, right here, a perfect 382 retracement at 430 and goes all the way down 30 handles to the 1.618 retracement, which has so far held the bottom. And now we're trading up around 410, I believe, something like 4010, something like that. This is a big event, folks, that what's happened here, unless the Fed comes out and changes the numbers, which they've done this before too, we should be going down here until the middle of October would be my best guess. But we've been waiting for this one, and hopefully, I sent the video out, right before, the market was, hitting the CPI number, and I said, here we are, folks, this is it. So it's either going to work or it isn't. So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's the really bottom line of what we're doing as we look at some of these things here today. Our guest today is Dr. David Paul, the mentor behind our good friend Tommy Hugard. And believe me, boys and girls, Mr. Hugard had one banner day today, because he was telling me ahead of time, is this true that this Fibonacci is right here at this time at the report? And I said, have no fear, because Mr. Fibonacci is here. And speaking of Fibonacci, I want you to see a book, and you're not going to believe this, folks. I thought I'd seen everything until I see this. This is a picture of one of our students, okay? Look at this. I'm not going to mention who it is, and we'll get it up here so you can take a look at it. This is the book, Trade What You See. Now, you see these little things over here, folks? These are bookmarks on the left and bookmarks on the right. Now, the book is, you want to take a guess, 286 pages. Does anybody want to guess how many bookmarks are in that book? He asked me to sign it and send it on to him, which I did. And so, but I said to Sarah, Sarah, this is the only book that I've seen that is more notated than your book, because her book was pretty much the same way. But this one had, believe it or not, folks, on a 288 books, it had 112 notations. These little, what do they call these little, I can't even know what they call these little bookmarks or whatever they are, the little, to let you know what was on. But it was really, I sent a little note along with the book when I signed it. I said, boy, I've seen a lot of them, but I said, I don't have to worry about you have read this book, because, boy, you have really studied it. And if you study that book, folks, that's about everything I know is in that book. So that's a good thing to have. And that'll be offered to you, of course, if you take the day course. We're going to have on the 20th of September, have a lot of fun doing it. And we will look forward to that. And hopefully Tom Hugard is going to be able to stop in and spend a little time with us, and that'll be a lot of fun too. So this is a very eventful day today. We've got other things that we need to talk about before we get on with our good friend David Paul. So we'll cover those here in a minute or so. I covered that. I wanted to go through the importance of the what's happening with the crude oil, because we had this big move up, and of course you'll be able to see it here just a second here. Get it moving here. There's what we want to do. I showed it to you yesterday. I just wanted to give you a heads up again, because there's another one right behind it that you need to see, because that was right before the report this morning, and that's why it was such a big one. And we need to do that one, Larry. And where is it? That's 1, 2, 3. And I think this is it. And this is it. Bring this up here, and you'll be able to see. You'll see the secondary 382 retracement that we're looking at right here, and you'll be able to look at it, and you'll be able to see there's where we are, right in here. So let's pay attention to that. 877-927-6648.
Of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner, ready development stage gold project. Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, we're back, and I believe we have David Paul on the line from the lovely city of London. I guess you're getting ready for the festivities for the funeral, David?
Hello, Larry. How are you doing, man?
I am doing good. How are you feeling, my friend? Is your heart all healed up and everything?
Well, I hope so, man. I'm still here. It's not a recording, but...
Well, you're back doing your exercises and everything yet, so you must be doing pretty good.
Well, I hope so. It was a tough couple of months, but...
Sure it was. Very scary, very scary.
All behind me now, but... and yourself, are you keeping well, sir?
Staying on the green side of the grass, baby. Only watching the first edition of the obituaries every morning. My grandfather said, do not take the risk of reading the second edition of the paper, and I never have. Hey, well, David, what do you think of the volatility we're having today? Any advice for anybody?
I think that there's a lot of people disappointed and there's a lot of people very happy. It always reminds me of the story, Larry, that when I was at school, I used to look out the window in the morning and I saw snow. And I would be really happy because it meant there'd be snowball fights and there would be tobogganing down the hill and might even get a day off school. Now, my dad looked through the same window and he said that the battery in the car mightn't start and I'm going to have to shovel snow and there'll be shoes all over the fireplace drying out all afternoon. So I looked out of the window and I saw pleasure, and the old man looked out of the window and he saw pain. But the snow didn't care. The snow was just there. Okay, so...
Amen to that, that's for sure.
The market is just there. I think that the fall today was fairly predictable, and I'm quite sure you pointed it out to all your people who are listening. That
both of them were interested. That's for sure.
That's for sure, and it's so good for your mum to actually listen to you as well. She comes on and listens and pulls the numbers up a bit, but. As you pointed out, I'm sure the market fell from 62% of the range, I think, before Powell, No, 62% of the range from the top and 78% of the range from just Powell. And the question I'm asked more often than anything else about the old fib stuff is that where do you start? And I tell everybody just start at the obvious places and look for confluences, and that was the case today with a beautiful confluence between the 62% retracement and the 78% retracement. When I started in this, and that's not as long as you, Larry, but I've been around the block, and the 78% retracement wasn't that common, but certainly I think that the 78% retracement is becoming much more commonplace. And I favor the 78% retracement. Sometimes I actually miss 62% retracements because I'm waiting for a pushback to the 78. And in fact, I like to say an AB equals CD to the 62% before I take it these days. If I don't see an AB equals CD to the 62%, I do my best to hang on to the 78%. Sometimes I miss moves, but I couldn't really care. I don't need that many of them a month to make a darn good living out of this. So on VectorVest, or my product VectorVest, which is a share trading product, only the shortest term measure of the trend turned up from the bottom, and we had what we call a bottom fishing opportunity over the last 3 or 4 days. And we have a chap in North Carolina who called Steve, who's championed that, and he made about 15 to 20% on some stocks over the last 3 or 4 days as they bounced. It's not for the faint-hearted, that type of bottom fishing, but nevertheless very profitable when you get the hang of it. The medium-term measure of the market is down, and the underlying trend of the market is down. Now, could I do something daring and maybe share my screen, although
if we can get Al to help us out, I'd be more than happy to have you do that. So either that or you could email it to me and I could copy it and send it in.
Maybe I'll be able to be to do this. Start sharing. I don't know if you can see anything there.
They will tell me in a minute whether it's happened or not. If not, we'll just talk about it because the people would like to hear it anyway, for sure. Ooh, I hear something just, that was the old chart being posted. Hopefully it'll be popping up here and we'll be able to see it.
You should see a blue background.
We got it. We're ready. Go ahead, my friend. Post as many as you like. We're ready to go.
Okay, well, that's the situation that I've been talking to. That's the VectorVest composite, Larry. It's a broad measure of the U.S. markets, 8,000 plus shares that are traded on all the bourses. And that's our medium-term market timing system, which is a function of market direction, market momentum, and market breadth, and it's automatically generated. The last really profitable signal was on the 19th of July, and that was a really good move on the long side. And then we had a sell signal, or a signal to say that people who are primarily long of the market should be darn careful over the last couple of weeks, and that signal's still in force. And that's the SPX, Larry, and that's a weekly chart. I was taught the stochastic indicator by George Lane himself way back in 1986. And a delightful old man. I'm sure you've met him.
Yes, I did. I knew he lived in Chicago, and I met him several times. So I know who he was, and he was a nice guy. That's for sure.
Yeah, he was a bit like John Wayne in those last movies.
Didn't look like John Wayne.
Yeah, a big man, like Rister Cogburn type, and
yes.
But he favored an 8-week stochastic. I've used it ever since. Now, there's no doubt that many indicators are a crutch, but if it takes a crutch to make money, well, I would like another half dozen of them if I could find them. I'm not trying to be clever anymore. I just want to make a good living out of this without doing too much work. The tail should never wag the dog. If the price fell on the S&P, And George's 8-week stochastic rose, that's what is called reverse divergence. And I believe Bob Prechter at Elliott Wave calls it a slingshot. That's a very bearish move. And as you can see, the stochastic was still saying that the momentum was strong to the downside. I pointed this out to everybody at VectorVest in the weekly webcast that I did. I did one on Monday. And I'm sure you noticed the island reversal that we had on the top side here as well. Right there, there was an island reversal there on the daily chart. So momentum was quite strong to the downside, and that's the S&P. And the big question, of course, the rally from the June low, was that an impulsive move or a corrective move?
We will know soon. Can you stay with us for one more segment, David?
Yeah, sure, Larry. I'm fine for that.
Thank you very much. David Paul, folks, from VectorVest out of the United Kingdom. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back. We're speaking with David Paul from the UK, VectorVest. And David, we have a question from one of our listeners, and that is your affiliation with and your friendship with Tom Hugard. What was the what you think the defining moment that really made Tom into the I guess you'd say the animal or the super trader that he is today? Do you remember that sequence of events?
I don't think it was any one thing, Larry, but he's worked at it hard, 12 or 15 hours a day for 25 years.
Yes.
I remember flying to Copenhagen with Tom once to do a workshop, and we took off from Gatwick Airport, and along the way he was in fact making a précis of Mark Douglas's book Trading in the Zone, writing out all the important chapters in his view. So he had condensed the book into 3 or 4 pages. So I think it's effort like that that's made him the trader. Plus, he's worked really, really hard at it, and I think, of course, he's really quite hungry, much hungrier than I am. I have no intention of being the greatest trader in the world. I just want to make a very comfortable living out of it, and most people don't. But I don't think it was any one thing, but he works exceptionally hard at what he does.
He does, and not only, like you mentioned, the intensity that he has is just, it's beyond belief. And of course, he's got his new book out that's, going gangbusters, which we always like to see. David, can you tell the folks a little bit about the VectorVest program and what your involvement is with that? That's the next question that someone asked. I personally think it's a fabulous program for people that want to manage their own money professionally, because it's got about every tool in there that you could possibly ask for that would possibly work, the way I see it.
Well, yes, the VectorVest program is for the stock market. It's for individual stocks, and what it does is that it integrates fundamental analysis and technical analysis. I think if you were to I put a name to the style of investing, I call it value momentum investing. So it automatically finds stocks that are undervalued. It finds stocks that are growing their earnings strongly and safely, or at least as safely as you need to sleep at night, that are rising in price. And we want to be buying those stocks when the general market is rising, and being very, very careful when the general market is falling. So there are many, many programs out there that are very fundamental in nature, and clearly there's many, many programs out there that are very technical in nature. But the VectorVest program pragmatically wants to try and make some money, and it wants to put together the best of both worlds. So I think if you were to define the VectorVest program, it's trying to take the best out of fundamental analysis and marry that with the best of technical analysis to simply and easily make some money. That's a summary of the program. So I hope that answers the question. If anybody wants to use it, you can try it for 30 days for, I think it's $10 or something. So, and if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, we shall remain friends.
Amen to that. One other question, David. On a day like today, where you have the really, you encompass, 2 or 3, 4, 5 days ranges in a matter of an hour, how long does it take VectorVest to, get back to the sequence of that it does? I mean, is that a big effect when you have a technical situation like this?
Well, the VectorVest US program is a real-time program. So if you wanted to be a very, very aggressive trader, you can use the program to trade intraday. And the VectorVest guys in North Carolina have got a club that does that every morning. It's called the Jockey Club. So if the general market, if the general market is rising, then they use uni searches to find strong stocks that should rise with the market. And if the general market is falling, then they use again a subset of VectorVest called Unisearch to find stocks with very, very weak fundamentals that should in fact fall harder than the market. And they do that every morning real time. So if you want to be a short-term trader, then that facility is there on VectorVest. In the UK, VectorVest is an end-of-day program. And that's largely because in the UK, the costs of dealing are significantly higher than in the US. And you really need to be very fleet of foot to make money intraday in the UK stock market. And also in the UK, we have to pay 0.5% tax on purchases. So it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to beat that intraday in the UK. So we're an end-of-day program in the UK, but in the US, there's an intraday program. And as I say, a 30-day trial of VectorVest I think it's $10 or something. It's £5.95 in the UK. You can see whether it's for you or not. If you go to vectorvest.com, there's plenty of information on it there. So I run the UK business, and we've got thousands of customers here in the UK. I do a couple of webcasts a week, do my best to try and keep them on the right side of the market, although in the UK we're regulated by the regulator, and I have to be very careful about what I say. So I'm not
aware of
getting
that.
advice. I have to be quite careful about that.
Okay, one more question, and that is, how can the folks, if someone would like to reach you, how would they be able to reach you? What's the best way?
David.paul@vectorvest.com.
David.paul@vectorvest.com. Is that correct?
That's it. That's it.
Listen, we're going to have you on again soon, my friend. So thanks for joining us today. And if anytime you would like to come on to share some information of the teaching nature that you do so well, please let us know, and we'll have a spot for you.
Excellent, Larry. You take care, sir.
Thank you. So you're a stand-up guy, and don't you forget that, okay? All right. Thanks a lot, David. Yeah.
Cheers.
You bet. David Paul, folks, from the UK, really a really nice fellow, and boy, he really knows the market too. He's been doing these seminars with Tom and I for the past 3 years. We've done one a year over in the UK and one in Denmark, and they've been a really big success, so been a lot of fun. But nothing as much fun as we're going to have when we do our day trading day on the 20th of September. And that'll be really a whole lot of fun, because we're going to do its teaching, and it's there to make money and try to show you how things work and that kind of stuff. And that's really what we're really working about. Now, I wanted to show you a trade that we did yesterday that was really it was very, very wild, given the fact there were things that were going on. It was in the wheat. I had the choice of doing either wheat or corn, and it was after the report, so we had a choice to make. And so the choice I made was to sell at the 61% retracement and put our stop, 10 cents above it. Well, the market broke all the way down here, and we had our profit objective set right here. The problem was the profit objective was here. The market only got to right here. So what I said is, if the market breaks lower, which it did, put your stop at break even. And so the market broke down and then immediately rallied sharply, almost to make a double top. But we got out of that at break even. That's just a function of risk control, folks. Gives you another poke at the pokey doll, or the Cupid doll, as they say in the trade. 877-927-6648.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, we're talking about the wheat trade, and basically what I wanted to do was to show you how that works out as far as risk control. That's all it was all about. I mean, we had a nice profit, ended up 10 cents, ended up, kissing the teacher, and you broke even. So that's all you can really do. So remind yourselves, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you don't lose. Now, I want to answer a question here that we talked about on the air yesterday that a lot of people didn't quite understand, and that is the semantics that going into this. Oh, God, I hope I saved that chart. Oh, please tell me I saved it. Oh, I did. God bless you, I did. Here's where we are. Let's get up here and see it, because some people say, gee, I missed that 61% retracement. Well, the reason why you missed it, boys and girls, it was in the September contract, the lead contract. It was not in the December, which is the most, has the most open interest. See, there's a big difference. You see here, here's where we were the other day. I said, here's where we are. We've gone through here. The next level is most probably going to be here at 41.57. Today's high was 41.57 and a quarter. And from there, of course, we sold off. But the key here is when you're looking at the December went higher than this, about 15 or 20 points. So if you were using a 10-point stop or even a 20-point stop, you might have got stopped out. If you were doing the September contract, still liquid and everything, it was spot on. Hit it perfectly. I mean, it's just really, truly amazing. I happened to be talking to Tom Hugard as it was occurring, and he said, he says, you know how I feel about Fibonacci? And I said, tell me how you feel about it in 10 minutes. And, of course, he called back and he said, oh, you got really lucky on that one. I said, yeah, well, sometimes you go to the dance by yourself. Sometimes you go with two different girls. You just never know. But anyway, look at this one here. This one went exactly to it, all right? Bada bing, bada boom. And the December went 15 points above it. The number in the December was, I believe, 41.60, and I believe it went to 41.74 was the high. And that was a fast tick. It was trading around 62, I think, when the report came out. And, of course, all heck broke loose, and down she went. So that's really here to there. Remember, folks, this is you're going to get, if you want places to look to get short, just start following it on a short-term basis. There's going to be a signal coming up that's going to be the big daddy, what do you call that thing? The big daddy rabbit of all time, and I'm going to show it to you again because I brought this chart up a dozen times, and this will make it 24. And if I got rid of this one, I better not, because here it is. Let's get this up here to show you where we want to be looking real closely, all right? Here is a chart from 2000 even, okay? And we are, we've already been here, okay? This is, I believe we're here. We're getting ready to go down in here somewhere, or we're here moving down. You see, this is a weekly chart now. What you want to be watching for, we're having a pretty good down move, all right? What you want to be watching for is a little 382 on the weekly like this one. That's the kind you want to be looking at. Or one like this one right in here. So we've got the big breakdown. Now we want to watch for the little 382. That's my job. at 24/7 is to try to find those. And I'll show you how I do that. Of course, most of you that have trained with me know how we do it. We still have fun. We'll make a little money on the 20th, but that's what you really want to do. Find that, because you've got a place to really have a good spot to have your, your ticket punched as far as getting into the game, and you don't have to risk very much, because that's going to be one that they're deadly 3 to 5 day rallies that go nowhere. We've seen them in everything, especially in bonds and silver and a whole bunch of other things, and that's what we're paying attention to right now. The next one is that we need to talk about is the gold market, because we felt that there was going to be a breakdown here, because we had that pattern in the gold that looks so very interesting, and we did in fact have a pretty good break in the gold market. And I think I can find it here, because I was looking for it just a moment ago. Maybe not. And maybe not is the, oh, nope, there it is. By golly, I got it. Here is the gold so far, and you'll be able to see it pretty easily. Hold on, get this up here. There's your AB, share your screen. Bada bing, bada boom, bop boom, bop bing. I love doing this stuff, especially when you're right. God, when you're wrong, it sucks. Anyway, there's your 382. Hit it right on the money, backed off a little bit. Haven't gone anywhere. So that means that there's some pretty good support down here at 1706. We couldn't get any lower than that. We dropped, the harmonic number, $32. There's your $32 right there. There's your 382 rally. And what you're looking at in gold now, pay attention till tonight and tomorrow, because you got A, B, C right at the 78% level. And I think we're getting ready to get up here to probably the 50% or even the 61. So pay close attention to it. Very, very interesting here in the gold market. The fact that we did not get above 1700 was a big surprise. We got to 1706. Looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. But right now we can go anywhere, and usually we do. So let's pay really close attention to that. All right, now I had one other one that we had. I talked about that dollar index, but I didn't talk anything about it. Shut the front door. This is what we spent some time on the video last night, because everybody was saying, the euro is turned, and we said, nah, be really careful, because look, we had this nice move here in the U.S. dollar. You see that? Your 3 drive to a top pattern right at the 1.618 expansion, which is the 78% on the weekly basis. But look at this, folks. This little 5-day rally here stopped right at the 50% retracement to the tick. Right there at 107, and boom, it went through 109 like it didn't even exist. So that's telling you that market is not over. This is just a quiet little 5-day rally. If this were a 5-day rally and it was no good, you'd be all the way down here. But all you're doing is making a 50% retracement of this swing right here. So that's not bearish action. And anyway, we were watching that to see, and at the same time, you were looking at a 78% retracement in the crude oil. Try the euro. That's the main one to look at. Now, the crude oil, totally different animal, because we had some really bullish stuff happening in crude, and it shook the tree really hard today, folks. Let me show you why. Let's get this up here, and you'll be able to see it. Get this up here. Those of you that belong to the 24/7, you're going to get videos on this tonight, because we have such big ranges we need to. There's your 382 today. Today we went up and made the 1.618 expansion up there, just about 90, and we come all the way down, folks. We dropped $5 a barrel down here to 85, and boy, if we don't hold 85, there's trouble in River City, and you want to be able to make sure that you hold 85 if you can, because that is really a super, super duper place to look at it. And we went from 85, we went from 84.80 all the way to 86.80. We already rallied $2. Oh, I got to show this picture. Come on, Dan, this is the one that my heart would stop if I had this pattern on the, oh my God, if I'd had this pattern on the, well, I had it today, but it'd be really nice. I'm going to let you guys see this, because this is totally awesome. We'll be right back.
Vista Gold owns and operates the largest undeveloped gold project in Australia, the Mount Todd Gold Project. Vista Gold just completed their feasibility study, resulting in a 7 million ounce gold reserve. Vista Gold has all major permits approved and has retained CIBC capital market assistance in evaluating alternatives and in completing an accretive transaction. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and TSX under the ticker symbol VGZ. Vista Gold, executing a strategy to create shareholder value.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I want to post a chart here of the crude oil. You can see what happened. The report came in, you came down, rallied up, came down, rallied up, came down. Perfect. Look at this, folks. 1, 2, 3 drives to a bottom, just absolutely perfectly. Remember, the 135 has 3 lower tops. 3 drives to a bottom has 3 lower bottoms. And look at the rally that we had. That's $2,000. Risk here was about $60, and it's already made $2,000 right off the bat. So these are the kind of patterns we're going to be looking at, drawing them and showing them how you fit. I didn't have time to draw it, but you can see it's a perfect ABCD, double A, B, C, D, and then A, B, C, D. As Jim Twentyman said, defy human nature. Do the work yourself. Now the question is, $2 rally very quickly, just like we had here. The question is, do we continue, or is just a flash in the pan? We will know in the next few hours, and that's what we have to be doing tonight, is to review all these, getting them ready for tomorrow, because the game's changed, folks. The Federal Reserve came out today and said, gee, things are a little bit different than what we thought. So by golly, you know, it's been a pretty rough. Look what they've done to the bond market, folks. We're almost at a 29 handle. And that was a long-term price objective we've had for the last a year and a half. So we're not, and all we'll do is get a bounce from there. I mean, it may be back to 138 or something like that, but these markets are acting extremely bearish, folks, extremely bearish. As of today, yesterday, not the same thing. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. Tomorrow, our guest will be Rich Anderson. We're going to be spending a lot of time on the old grain markets, wheat, corn, and soybeans, along with some other things. So try not to miss that if you can. Thursday, we have none other than our good friend, Shane Smolian. And then on Friday, we got Stan Harley, who nailed it to the cross for September the 12th. And may God bless. We'll see you all tomorrow, folks. And stay on the green side of the grass.